Today we're going to be reacting to a parody of Jubilee with Thanos debating the snap, okay? There is no possible way that Thanos could really defend the snap, because if he had all of that power that he had, then he could just make more resources for everybody, right? Wouldn't that make sense? But let's see how this ends up going.
My name is Thanos, and today I am in the Tether Vault, surrounded by 20 superheroes to debate the Thanos snap.
There's no way. There's no way you could defend that.
Let's go.
Let's see.
My first claim is, overpopulation is the root cause of all suffering in the universe.
Okay, hang on. That's different from the snap. That's different from the snap.
Population control through elimination is the only solution to save civilizations from self-destruction.
This is such a weird AI video. Holy.
Thanos, you
got Optimus Prime. I didn't even notice that.
speak of balance as though you understand the nature of life itself. On Cybertron, we too faced extinction. We faced impossible choices. But we never believed that erasing half of our population was salvation.
Yeah, how could that possibly be? Oh, yeah. Oh, it makes it better, Thanos, because it's elimination at random. It's a fair choice.
It would have been abomination. You claim mathematics justify your snap, but mathematics cannot measure the value of a single consciousness.
I'm with that. I'm with Optimus Prime, and then you'll always have those guys out there that are like, oh, well, we're just matter. We don't even have a soul. We don't even have consciousness.
Every being you eliminated had dreams, families, futures.
Yeah, but there's nothing when you're going about anyways, and life is so pointless.
You didn't save the universe. You became its executioner.
Ooh.
Noble words, Autobot. But nobility does not fill empty stomachs or cure starvation.
Oh, you know, hey, so far so good for this video, man. That's exactly the clapback that Thanos would probably have, eh?
You speak from a position of idealism, but I have walked countless worlds and witnessed the inevitable collapse of civilizations.
Okay, but I see all of the stones in your Infinity Gauntlet there. Why not create more resources?
Overpopulation. Resources are finite. Life multiplies exponentially. The mathematics are not cruel. They are absolute. Your Cybertron faced extinction because you could not make the necessary choice.
Wait, I don't remember why Cybertron ended up falling. Wasn't it a Megatron thing? Like, it's incomparable to what Thanos is talking about, right?
For alternatives while your people suffered. I did what you lacked the will to do. I made the hard choice. Yes, every being I eliminated had value, but trillions of beings will live better lives now because of the snap.
That doesn't give you the right to take away the life of somebody else just because other people will do better. Just because, like, yeah, I get it. I understand Thanos' plan. I get it, but it doesn't give him the right to do anything.
You speak of necessity, but necessity was born from your failures, not from the universe's inevitability. Thanos, you claim mathematics proves overpopulation. Yet the most advanced civilizations I know use technology and wisdom to support populations exponentially larger than previous generations.
Yet there had to have been other ways. There had to have been other ways to fix Thanos' planet. Even with all the space travel, couldn't they just migrate somewhere else on top of that?
The Autobots learned that survival is not about quantity, but about how we treat one another. Your snap did not create balance. It created trauma. It created orphans, shattered families, ended dreams.
And if you want to talk about strictly like, and I would imagine, I would imagine this is the same on other planets and other universes and other timelines where getting rid of the snap, do you know how much damage that would do to all of the food production? Could you imagine everything being taken care of, everything being, and it sucks, but everything being slaughtered, everything being prepared for the rest of the world?
You still don't understand, Optimus Prime. I am not troubled by the judgment you place on me. History will vindicate my actions. The remaining universe will thrive because of the snap. Yes, there is trauma. Yes, there is suffering in the short term. But centuries from now, civilizations will flourish. Resources will sustain populations indefinitely. The cycle of suffering will be broken.
I don't know if that would happen though. But I'm thinking it from a human perspective, right? I don't know anything about Titan. I don't know anything about Thanos's home planet. But humans would find a way to just selfishly keep things from each other.
My second claim is, death is not tragedy. Death is mercy.
I understand. Okay, I get where that's coming from. I understand completely where that one's coming from, but it still doesn't give him the right to take the life away from somebody. It's a conversation worth having if somebody was wanting to die and somebody was suffering, but he just took it away from countless people who wouldn't want that.
Snap freed trillions from suffering by offering them peace they didn't even know they needed.
Yeah, well, what about the people? What about the people who didn't want to die?
Oh man, Thanos, I love you. I really do. But even I think you're wrong on this one. And I've literally died multiple times and come back. Death isn't mercy. It's just dead. And you
I don't know if I would really choose Deadpool to have the one with the debate with Thanos. So, give me someone like Thor or Iron Man.
took that choice away from trillions of beings. You didn't free anyone. You just deleted them from existence without their permission. I've spent my whole life making jokes about death, because it's terrifying. And yeah, sometimes I wish I could just stay dead. But death as mercy. That only works if someone asks for it. The people you snapped didn't get a vote.
At least you...
Yeah, he took away countless healthy individuals with bright futures. Maybe, possibly, even somebody who could solve an overpopulation issue.
understand death, Deadpool. But you miss the broader picture. The individuals who were eliminated faced a universe of suffering.
You know what's interesting about Thanos is, and this is why I love him as a character, is that he's so comfortable with being the villain. He's so comfortable with what he did that it's just about the mission. It's like, yeah, you're not making me feel bad. It's not going to work, dude.
Disease, starvation, war, extinction events. Within decades, the overpopulated universe would have cascaded into total collapse. I offered an alternative. Peace through the snap, followed by a reborn universe of balance.
If you can
Yeah.
like basically rebirth a universe, you've got to be able to make it work on another planet.
They did not vote. Civilizations in collapse cannot vote their way to salvation. Sometimes leadership requires unilateral action. You joke about death because you cannot die permanently. That clouds your perspective.
See, here's the thing. You keep saying the universe would have collapsed.
Sorry, Deadpool's voice is not working it, man. It's not that great.
But you're the only one who gets to decide that. Right? You're the
Yeah,
only
what Thanos feel differently. But you know what? He's such like a little weasel's not the right word, but it's like he's such a little pain in the ass that I feel like if we're like, Thanos, would you be okay if I just randomly took your life if you were offered? Because and I don't know this about the Infinity Gauntlet. Was Thanos up for that random selection? Could Thanos have been deleted in the snap? Because my brain's thinking like, oh, Thanos, would you like it if you were up for this? You'd be like, yes, that's fair.
one smart enough to see the future and make the hard choice. That's literally every tyrant's defense. I had to do this terrible thing because I was the only one who understood the situation. But you know what? You weren't the only one in the universe. You could have talked to scientists, philosophers, other powerful beings. Instead, you just snapped your fingers and killed half of everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is a plan that was years and years in the making. So maybe there was some deep thought to it. It was just like it ended up being a correct thought, or I mean, correct thought, excuse me, an incorrect thought and an incorrect solution.
And now you're justifying it because the ending was quick.
Deadpool. I offered my vision to countless civilizations. They rejected.
And what's that say if the countless civilizations are consistently rejecting it? If they're all coming to the same conclusion as you, that like 99% of the time, that doesn't make you the one visionary who knows better.
They called me mad. They refused to accept the necessary sacrifice. This is why the strong must lead, because the multitudes cannot comprehend what must be done. Yes, it is narcissism if you believe it is wrong, but I know the mathematics. I know the future, and I know that the snap was inevitable. You may joke about my methods, but you cannot deny the results.
The buzzer's scaring me there, but the results, did any population like really I guess we only can look at Earth, right? And it wasn't thriving. People were grieving and towns were destroyed. You lose, if you randomly shut off half the population, society would collapse.
My third claim is, the snap was an act of cosmic justice. I did not create the universe's problems. I solved
What?
them. The universe will thank me for this sacrifice.
Yeah, but the weird thing is he's coming from a spot where it's already over with, right? Like Avengers Endgame kind of reversed everything, so we didn't even know, like, oh well, universes are gonna thank him for that. They're gonna look at him as evil.
Thanos, I have gazed into 14 million futures. In not a single one does your snap create lasting peace. I have seen the timelines where the snap occurred, and I watched them unfold. Societies collapsed under the weight of sudden loss. Economic systems shattered, knowledge was lost forever. Grief-stricken populations descended into chaos.
Yeah, you would just go into war, and not quite a stone age, but like society would fall apart. Cities, even the internet, food supply, medicine.
Yes, resources were temporarily abundant. But a universe without hope, without continuity, without cultural knowledge cannot sustain itself. I chose to fight you not out of naivety, but out of prescience. The universe does not need your solution. It needs time, adaptation, and wisdom. You offered death.
Doctor,
I'm with Dr. Strange on that one. I think that's the best presented argument so far that we've taken a look at.
you claim to have seen 14 million futures, yet you oppose the only solution that works. Your mystical sight has blinded you to mathematical reality. Yes, the immediate aftermath causes disruption. Any major change does. But centuries from now, when civilizations have rebuilt with balanced population...
That's a big if, man. If you're getting rid of everything and people like no longer have access to medicine and things like that, what if humans just flat out die off? Dude, there's gonna be like a crazy dictatorship coming up. Like humans can't handle it. But then again, like we don't know how other planets, other universes would take the snap. Probably not well as well. But I'm talking about when it comes to humankind. Oh boy, no, we're not handling that.
And sustainable resources, they will prosper indefinitely. Your alternative, my defeat, leads to eventual civilizational collapse as overpopulation accelerates. You chose a slower, more painful extinction.
I have seen the future where you were stopped, Thanos. In that future, Earth's brightest minds united to address resource scarcity. They developed technologies that made scarcity obsolete. They created systems of cooperation that spanned galaxies.
That would not happen with humanity at all. Not one little bit, dude.
Civilizations grew and flourished without your brutal solution. The futures where you succeeded all end the same way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he talking about... I must have missed it, but is he talking about one where Thanos doesn't go through with it? Because I might have just misheard him. Sorry, I'm glancing a little bit over here. My baby's sleeping right now, and I have the camera on her.
Stability followed by new wars, new suffering, new desperation.
Yeah.
Your visions are beautiful fantasies, Doctor. But reality is more stubborn than fantasy. I have walked worlds where your brightest minds promised solutions and failed. I have watched civilizations collapse despite their technology.
Why haven't we talked about the thing where why don't you just create more resources for people or just move people to another planet? Thanos, you can create anything. Bend reality with the reality stone. Can't that grow trees and food and fruit and something on another planet?
Cooperation. The universe does not reward hope. It rewards action. Your future where technology solves everything is a dream. My future is mathematical certainty.
Oh.
My fourth claim is, sacrifice is necessary for survival. The strong must make hard choices so the weak can live. That is the natural order of the universe.
Yes, that makes sense. That's a good quote, but the problem is, it's different when you're talking about deleting half of all life from the universe.
I've lived for over a century, Thanos. I've seen what happens when the strong decide they...
What's with Wolverine's claw being on, or his claws being on his shoulder?
They know what's best for everyone else. It always ends the same way: blood, suffering, and more death. The natural order. The natural order is that life fights to survive. Every life, not just the ones you decide are worth saving.
You speak from your long life, Wolverine, but you have not learned its lesson.
Dude, I didn't even know Wolverine lived for a century. Is he just straight up immortal? Can you not kill him? What are they going to do with the movies when Hugh Jackman doesn't want to play him anymore?
You have survived a century by adapting, by enduring, by accepting hard truths. Yet you still cling to the fantasy that compassion can solve resource scarcity.
What? He's lived through the toughest of the tough, man. He's fine. You want to talk about adapting? I know that if we're talking about Earth, they're not exactly going to adapt, but you can't still, like, this is the thing when we're talking about debates, man, because I get it. It's a fun debate. It is to talk about these topics, but at the end of the day, you just can't kill people. And then I know that's like the problem with this is it's not exactly a good debate topic. Like, you know, it's not exactly a good debate strategy. We're going, hey, Thanos, it's not okay to kill half of all life. Yeah, but why is it okay? Because you're killing people half like that's where I'd be coming from this, and that's why it's frustrating.
I do not argue that sacrifice is pleasant. I argue that it is necessary. The universe cannot sustain infinite population growth. That is not philosophy. That is physics. Your refusal to accept this does not change it. When starvation comes, when resources collapse, compassion will not feed starving billions.
Can you use the Infinity Gauntlet to just make people not have to consume food anymore? It seems like reality can be whatever I want it to be. That's what Thanos said, right?
You keep
Maybe.
comparing population control to medical amputation, but that's because you don't want to call it what it really is: mass murder. I've killed people, Thanos. I've got blood on my hands that won't wash off, and I know the difference between necessary defense and calculated slaughter. Your snap wasn't defense. It was genocide with better PR. And yeah, I've survived a century and learned...
Holy ChatGPT there, eh? I know this whole thing's AI, but it's just funny that you like get used to the way that it talks sometimes, eh?
hard truths. One of those truths is that anyone who claims they're the only one with the guts to do what's necessary is usually just a tyrant looking for justification. The strong don't get to decide the fate of the weak.
I'm gonna get cooked for that one. But hang on. If you have somebody... Oh, that's so tough. It's... Okay. If you have somebody that's like majorly intelligent, more capable, better person, then yeah, maybe they should decide for the weak. But the thing is, you can't like play with their lives and everybody should be free. That's the tough part about it. Because I can look at it as like a parenting thing. I know what's best for my daughter, right? But I know like she's 2 years old. She can't conceptualize life right now. But as she grows up, like I'll want to have that influence over her, but she also needs to be free. You know what I mean? It's difficult when you actually do know better.
That's the tyranny I've been fighting my whole life. And no amount of cosmic math changes that.
You have survived a century avoiding the hard choices, Wolverine. You have killed in defense,
Wolverine.
Killed in anger, killed to survive. But you have never made the decision that would save civilizations. You have never stood at the precipice of universal collapse and chosen to act. Instead, you judge me from your position of relative comfort. Your century of survival means nothing when trillions face starvation within decades. Yes, it is genocide by your definition.
Not by your definition. Not yes. Oh, you're correct in what you're talking about right here. I understand where you're coming from, but you're still wrong.
But genocide of suffering is salvation by mine.
No!
History will prove me right.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Each of them represented the fundamental flaw in heroic thinking. The belief that noble intentions and clever solutions can overcome the mathematical laws of the universe.
No, man, that's crazy. That's not okay. You can't kill people. You can't do that. And why can't you create more resources for people to consume?
They cannot. I have studied countless civilizations. I have watched worlds collapse. I have seen the pattern repeat endlessly. The snap was not cruelty.
Dude, that's really cool, man.
Cure.
That's really cool. This whole AI debate channel over here, this Jubilee Parody video came up on my recommended, and I thought this would be good for the thing. But I wish that they dove into like better arguments than that, and I wish that it was a little bit more. You know how AI can do a little bit better now, but still, it was a fun video. It was a good time. Maybe we'll react to some more, guys. If you want to continue watching, actually, you know what's perfect? Avengers Endgame with Thanos. I rewrote it. If you're interested, check it out right here. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you so much for being here and watching the video, guys. Take care, everybody.